Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is one of my favorite video games of all time. It has really awesome characters. A cool feature every character has are taunts. Each character has 3 taunts, and each taunt has a different animation. However, some characters have taunts that deal damage to opponents. These characters include Luigi, Snake, Greninja, and Kazuya. However, what if every character has a damaging taunt? That is what we're gonna find out. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Previously, I gave every Smash 64, Melee, Brawl, Smash 4, and Smash Ultimate characters a damaging taunt. So in this video, I'll be giving damaging taunts for Smash Ultimate DLC characters. Unfortunately, I do not have a capture card, so I will only show you screenshots. Now, how will I give each character a damaging taunt? Here's how. If a character has a taunt that seems like an attack, that could be a damaging taunt. If none of those taunts apply, then I'll give that character a random taunt or a taunt from their series. With that said, let's get started, and I hope you enjoy this video. Starting off with Piranha Plant, his damaging taunt would be his up taunt, where the mouth has a small hitbox that deals a small hit. And this would basically be his animation from Mario games, and it will deal minor damage. Nothing too special, and that will be Piranha Plant's damaging taunt. For Joker's damaging taunt, it will be a new taunt, where he would swipe his hand toward his mask with a curse effect, similar to how he steals items in Persona 5. This would be his side taunt, dealing a weak damage and knockback. And so yeah, it will just be taken from his Persona 5 game where he will swipe his hand and then put it in his mask. And his hand has a hitbox that deals a curse damage. And if there's Arsene, then it could deal more damage. And then during the taunt as well, Mona would be there as well. But instead of the old animation, his side taunt, he will just swipe his hand forward. And that will be the best taunt for Joker that deals damage. For Hero, his damaging taunt will be his down taunt, where the slime has a hitbox that deals a weak damage and knockback. And the animation can be altered a bit, where the slime would lunge towards the opponent, similar to the Dragon Quest games. So in Dragon Quest, whenever you fight a slime and the slime attacks, the slime would lunge towards you. And so this would basically be like that, but the slime would lunge towards the opponent between Hero's feet. And so Hero's animation himself would not be different, but the slime's animation would be different, where it would lunge towards the opponent. And that would be the best taunt that can deal damage for Hero. For Banjo and Kazooie, their damaging taunt would be their side taunt, where the animation would be altered a bit. Both of them would do a spin with their instruments before doing their pose. And the taunt, it would deal one hit with a weak knockback. And the hitbox would be on their instruments. And so, yeah. And then the pose itself would also be altered a bit, where they both use their instruments, and that would be their pose. And so, yeah, have Banjo and Kazooie use their instruments before they do their pose, and even during their pose as well. Have them use instruments, and the instruments itself would deal a weak damage and knockback. For Terry, his damaging taunt would be his side taunt, where the animation is altered. So Terry, he would do a spin kick before doing his pose, which deals one hit with some knockback. So yeah, this is another one of the stronger taunts in the game that deals a decent amount of damage and knockback for a taunt, and that will be the best taunt for Terry. For Byleth, his damaging taunt would be his down taunt, where the sword has a hitbox that deals one hit with a weak knockback. And the hitbox is on the entirety of the sword and during the entire taunt, and so it just deals a weak damage and knockback. And this taunt is nothing too special, but it will be Byleth's damaging taunt. For Min Min, her damaging taunt will be her up taunt, where the 2 kicks deal a weak damage and knockback. And so, yeah, it's just a basic taunt, dealing 2 hits and deals a pretty weak knockback. And this taunt, again, nothing too special, but it will be Min Min's damaging taunt. For Steve, his damaging taunt would be his up taunt, where the animation is altered. Steve would use his shovel to get the dirt off, which deals a weak damage and knockback. So he would dig and toss the dirt off with his shovel, and that dirt he tosses would have a hitbox, and there's also a small hitbox to the shell itself as well, and that would deal a weak damage and knockback. And this would be Steve's damaging taunt. For Sephiroth, his damaging taunt would be his down taunt, where the darkness has a hitbox that deals multiple weak hits with a weak knockback. And this taunt would of course be stronger when Sephiroth is winged, and make the taunt more aggressive, meaning that the darkness shown in Sephiroth's body would be bigger, and the taunt would deal weak damage with a pretty weak knockback, but looks really aggressive. But that would be the best taunt for Sephiroth that deals damage. For Pyra, her damaging taunt would be her down taunt, where the fire has a hitbox that deals one hit with some knockback. So this one would be, again, one of the more powerful taunts that deals a decent amount of damage and knockback for a taunt. And this taunt would also have fire properties, meaning that it can ignite explosive barrels and remote bombs, but it won't deal any damage to Red Pikmin. And so that will be Pyra's damaging taunt. For Mithra, her damaging taunt would be her side taunt, where the light has a hitbox that deals one weak hit with a weak knockback. And so basically this one is just a basic taunt, dealing a pretty weak hit and weak knockback, and it has light properties, so there's nothing too special about that taunt, but that will be Mithra's damaging taunt. For Kazuya, his damaging taunt would be his side taunt. And now this taunt already deals damage to opponents, and so there will not really be any changes made to this taunt. The animation itself would be the same. However, I would nerf this taunt a bit. All the other damaging taunts I mentioned, I want those taunts to be buffed. This one though, I want this taunt to be nerfed because it's a bit too powerful for a taunt. And so that is why I want this taunt to be nerfed a bit. It will still be like one of the strongest taunts in the game, but it would not be like so strong that it will basically be an attack, like deals a massive knockback as a tilt attack would do. But that's the change I would make for Kazuya. Last but not least, Sora. His damaging taunt would be his up taunt, where the taunt has a hitbox on the spell, and so each element deals the same damage and knockback. So despite there being different spells, each time he presses the taunt, it will always deal the same damage and knockback, so there will be no changes there. And that would be Sora's damaging taunt. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, then hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to see more good videos. This wraps up my Smash Ultimate characters getting a damaging taunt. If you haven't watched my previous videos, go watch them now. But this would be the last video where I would give each character a damaging taunt. I hope you enjoyed this video, and with that said, I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.